Hello. I am fruitful, and I am so glad to come your way again with one of these videos. I hope you stay with us to the end and also subscribe. So, are you insecure? Are you feeling crowded out in your environment? Are you trying so hard to find your true value amongst your friends? Are you struggling to break a repeated cycle of failure and frustration in your life? Well, it is no doubt that this has something to do with your self-image. So now let me quote from Bob Proctor. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. Not the me I think my wife thinks I should be, not the me I think you think I should be, not the me I think my son thinks I should be. If I want to be free, I've got to be me. Now there's two sides to every human being, the inside and the outside, and both of them reveal the truth about you. You see, the inside reveals what you think about yourself, and the outside reveals what others think about you. And the fact is, the outside always reveals what the inside makes of it. So they couldn't be wrong about you, just as you aren't wrong about your own feelings inside. Now our minds operate a very simple mechanism inside which cannot be fooled. And even if you may, it will not be for long. And of course, it will not be without consequences. Now there's a true and old local adage that goes like character is like pregnancy. And true to this fact, your actions prove to every aware person the feelings that you are carrying inside. Now while this may prove the first step towards self-discovery, the real problem is identifying the causes of these feelings, which is the image you carry of yourself going into any situation. You see, your self-image is the single most common cause of your problems, bringing you to this outcome of life. And that's because you have never been too careful about the image of your choice. And so you allowed yourself to be shaped by society into whatever it made of you. And that practically means that you allow opinions to put you into this situation as you find presently in your outcome. Now this idea of trying to do everything everyone says because you want to be normal, and under the assumption that your shortfalls in society may prove you to be abnormal, is really the cause of your problems, and it's the cause of your worries. So you have to take a look again at the things you define as normal in society. Of course, in your particular set of circumstances, it may not be normal for you to be denied your value or to be constantly let down by the people you trusted with your life. And of course, if you cannot do what everyone else is doing, it can make you feel abnormal. Yes, that's true, but placing too much emphasis on what others want rather than what makes you happy is what is just setting you up for disaster. So if now you are not happy, then it may be a good negative feedback from nature, telling you that you have to change your thinking habits. And your unhappiness could just be what I term as a reaction to mental slavery, trying to tell you that you have been misled by opinions. You see, you have been feeding on the wrong reasons into describing yourself into what has resulted into this mental programming that did not start yesterday. Of course, you thought they were going to help you until they brought you all these long hurdles of life, telling you you can't do this, you can't do that, this is impossible, that cannot be done, they don't like you, everyone hates you, you don't belong within this group, you can't go there, you need favor, you need mercy, you need someone else's help, you need people to push you. So it is very much a fact that you can't break your liability among friends or your fright for the crowd because there's nothing original or unique to you. As a matter of fact, everything you do, everyone else can do. And what you cannot do, someone else is ready to do it. So you see how easily society places us to be replaced as if we never existed. But this is just because you fail to recognize yourself as a unique person, so to have created your own standards of life. And now you are falling short of the standards of the world, which is how come you see yourself as not being normal and becoming a liability among friends and a fearful person. And this is also making you an unhappy person. But you can change that, because now you know that you have been following the wrong information, bringing you here to this point. And this wrong information is what you are basically reacting to, and so causing your unhappiness. So now that you know this, this is the point that the Spirit is telling you to make a paradigm shift. It's time for you to drive the perception about yourself rather than let perception drive who you are. So Jesus asked his disciples, "Who do men say I am?" Simply put, he was just asking, what does my actions reveal about me? So what Jesus did was to ensure that the world had no image of him outside different from what he had of himself inside. And of course, it's a proven fact that whenever the world has a different opinion of us or different image of us outside, then it tells us that we are not doing something right inside. So the rejection you feel outside is just a feedback from your own image telling you that you see yourself as a weak person, a liability, and a fearful person. And that is why you can't seem to get the recognition you desire. And so Jesus added that out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Now this is why you are trying so hard without any improvement. And that's because the inside, the feelings and the image is speaking something completely opposite to what you want the world to see about you. But unfortunately, the world cannot be forced to preserve an identity of you different from what your results show of your feelings. And the point is, you cannot show a better outcome than what you hold true about yourself. So if you don't believe in yourself as special, then no one else will recognize you as being special. And if you don't see that capacity in you, then no one will recognize the value in you. And if you think of yourself as being a liability, a fearful person and a failure, then no one will recognize you as a success. And if your image says less about you, then no one will recognize the more that you wish for. And if you were to come to the conclusion that this was a curse on your life, then it is because of the demeaning image of self that you are preserving in your mind. And you will not break this curse unless you recognize that you need to make some changes, first of all, in your mind and in your thinking. Now, for some of you, this is a very common error, which is why you are never moved by any motivational speaker. And that's because you are unable to discipline yourself to fulfill the changes that inspired you at first. And which is why Jesus said that when a demon is cast out of a person, it goes and walks about and comes back to find the place garnished. Then it goes and brings worse demons than itself, and they come and inhabit you. And your last state is worse than your former state. So no matter how hard you try and compel yourself, none of those expectations can be met until you take the hard decision to fix your self-image. Have an image makeover. Think positive of yourself, rather than focusing too low on the negative things society and people have to say about you. And remember that taking leadership from opinions and society only opens you up to reasoning that allows your past demons to come back hard and stronger than they were. You see, once you are giving up this opportunity of change to shape your personality of choice, opportunity is taking leadership to shape you into what it can accept for you in the society. And that's exactly where you find yourself. So to change this outcome, you must think positive about yourself. Then confront and change all those lies and negative thoughts that are floating about in your mind. Then study and learn only about the truth and uplifting messages. Then take inspiration from these words of David. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. In fact, you are God's highest creation, and nothing comes close in comparison to the amount and depth of potential God has deposited in you to face and surmount these problems that you are facing. Now, this is what true transformation means, as the Apostle Paul quoted. Alright, so whilst you review your personality, watch out for the negative thoughts. And of course, they are negative because one, they do not set you up to produce good results, and they do not lead you into any happiness. And it's at this point that I'm going to ask you to make a written statement of yourself, describing yourself as you would have people to describe you, and with all the good things you have people say about you. Now you can take inspiration from several characters. I don't want you to take inspiration from just one character. Take a good example, take a good inspiration from every character you have heard and you know about, you like. Take a Bible character, take a worldly character, take any character you want, and pick all the good values in them that you want for yourself, and make a very beautiful written statement about yourself. Alright, at this point, you can pause and then finish it up, and then we can continue. Welcome back. Now, if you have written out the statement, that is good. So this time we are going to rewrite the statement again, but this time in the present tense. And I want you to write it like this. I am so happy now that I am. Then add whatever you wrote earlier. Okay, so now you know who you are and you know what you want to be. That's great. So the practice begins now. So once every morning and every evening, you are going to read out this statement out loud to yourself when you wake up in the morning and before you sleep. And don't stop until you feel the change within and your actions prove your words true. Now there's an old school of thought that says that when you fail to show the inside, the outside reveals itself also as the inside. But that's going to change once you begin with this exercise and you stick to it. So don't let them make up your story again. Take control, write your story and inform the world of your beliefs through your actions. Now these changes may take a while, but it sure will last you throughout eternity. Now thank you for watching. Leave your comments below. Like, subscribe and share with your friends. You may just save a life.